it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today I'm here to show you how to join these beautiful granny squares together. I'm sorry I'm a little late today coming on. Hi Sammy, how are you doing? She's been waiting for this video because she has made some beautiful granny squares. If you are on YouTube, I'm going to upload this video later. I'm on Facebook Live right now, and you might hear me talking to people. Like I always say, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to people who are interacting with me on Facebook Live. So just so you know that. And to go ahead and get it out of the way, please like, share, hit the notify me button on Facebook. There is one there somewhere. And it'll tell you when I have live videos on Facebook and on YouTube. If you hit that bell, that'll also let you know when I'm on, when I've uploaded a video on YouTube. And please subscribe and like. It helps so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, because right after I do this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a heart border. Going out of town next week, so just want to go ahead and get some videos done for you guys. And Valentine's Day is coming up, and I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Okay, so what you're going to need to join these two mosaic granny squares is you're going to need the color that is on the outside of your granny square, of your mosaic granny square, which is this your darkest color. Obviously, you can do whatever you want to do. You can use any color you want to use. But I'm going to tell you what's going to look the best. And what's going to look the best is using this color, so that when you join all of these together, what's going to pop are these beautiful whites in the middle. Okay. Now, there are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do invisible seams, how to whip stitch, how to do single crochets, how to do all of these wonderful things. But I really don't like any of them. That's not to say that I have never wanted a ridge. If you specifically want a ridge in between your granny squares, also, just to let you know, what I'm showing you today works for any granny square, not just for the mosaic granny square. It also works for anything that you're putting together. Let's say it's not a granny square, it's squares, it's circles, it's flowers, it's whatever. This works for that, okay? But yeah, going back to what I was saying, if I wanted to do a single crochet, joining these together with single crochets, which is what I showed in my video the other day on my top 10 tips and tricks for crocheters, you could do a single crochet, but when I do that, it's going to leave a ridge just like this. Okay. Then we also have what they call the seamless, which is supposed to make these line up so close that you can't even tell that they're joined. However, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm not going to say that I'm not. It's a possibility. But when I do those, they never, good, Sammy, I'm so glad. She's going to stay tuned to watch the heart border. But when you do that seamless, what it actually asks you to do is go around each one of your posts, and it's just so odd, and it bunches up, and I just don't care for it at all. And then there's the whip stitch. There's just all kinds of things. But today I'm just going to show you how to go through each stitch very easily, and I think it creates wonderfully. I don't think that you can see a line. I don't think you can see anything. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is okay, let's say, and also this works for every corner of this. It's all the same. Okay. So once I put this corner together, the other corner, you're going to be adding more and more squares to get the size that you need. You're just going to continue. So let's say I want these to make a, let's say a twin size blanket size, granny square blanket with these mosaic granny squares. I would probably need maybe 5 or 6 across. Okay. So I would lay them, together, 5 or 6 across, and then I would go down the length I need, and then I would just keep joining them the way I'm fixing to show you how to join them. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these two are both facing me with the front side up. This is the back, and this is the front. Okay. And I'm just simply going to throw this one over this one. Okay. So now both of my backs are pointing out. okay? And then it doesn't really matter. I just for some reason want to go over here, but you can, they're all equal. All these sides are equal, so it doesn't matter. You know, you can start on any one, but I just feel the need to come over here and start on this side, okay? Now what you're going to do is the key to joining is consistency. I don't care where you join it. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how I do mine. But the key is just to join the same way each time so that when you come back, all your stitches match up. So let's say what I want to do is I'm going to make sure that these two are right together. And I'm going to go into this first stitch right here. Okay, that way I know, and I'm going to do it on the same side down here. Okay, so it would be the one right before my corner. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do on each side, and that way they marry up. Okay, so what I would do then, okay, and it really, all in all, guys, you know, I think sometimes we make things a little too difficult on ourselves. You know, we get things a little too complicated in our heads, but really you're just going to go around and join all this stuff. It's going to look beautiful when you're done. Okay, but right now I'm going to take my, and you will need a darning needle. You will need a pair of scissors for this project here, joining these together. So I'm going to cut off about, I don't know, 2 feet, let's say. Okay. And then on the end of this, I'm going to do a slip knot. I'm going to leave a pretty healthy piece of, at the bottom to sew in, okay, or to work in as you go. I prefer to work mine in as I go. So you need a decent size piece to work in so that it doesn't come undone, okay? So, I'm going to go right here, like I said, to this corner where you see that we had our 3 and our 3. And I'm going to line them up together. And then you see we had the 2 single crochets in between. So I'm going to go right in to this first, double crochet after we did our 2 chains. Okay. And I'm going to go under, you see the V's right here. You see the V's right here. Okay. I'm going to go under both of those V's. I'm going to go under both. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here to my other side and I'm going to go under both. And then I'm going to pull this through. Okay. And I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. Oh, goodness. Might want to go through first. That's what happens when you're looking through a camera. Okay. And now I'm just ignore this, guys. I'm just making my slip knot back again because I undid it. Okay, so right there's my slip knot. We're still doing what we did before. But now I'm going to go through that slip knot and then I'm going to pull it, okay? So now I'm just going to pull these tight so that I know that it stays. Now, what I would normally do is I would lay this right here or on the other side, whichever side works for you. I'm going to lay this right here and I'm going to work over it as I go, okay? If you find that it's too loose for you, like I did in my other one, just sew it in later, okay? But at any rate, but like I said, for this video, I'm just going to leave it hanging because I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing and I don't want it in the way, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to try your best to line up your stitches. This is not that easy to do. Even for someone who's been crocheting for years, you line them up the best you can and you go through each one on each side that coincides with it, but sometimes you might miss one. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Like I said, it's going to turn out beautiful. Okay, but we're going to go down this one so I can show you. So we're on to our next stitch and we're going to go under both of those V's. Okay, then I'm going to go under both of my V's on the other side. Okay, just like that. And then, you know, sometimes it's hard to see, you know, like I just went through that one, but it looks like I could still go through it again. So, you know, just be careful. And sometimes your work tends to want to go this way. And so you can't see the V, but just go through both of those right there. As you can see, it's kind of turned. So I'm just going to try to hold this up as best as I can so that I can see that I'm going through both of these. Okay. And sometimes you almost have to turn it to get it to where you can see it. Okay. This one's not as hard, but this one is, because you want to go under both of those V's. Okay. So that's what you're going to do all the way down. And we're just going to do that together. If you're online and you have any questions, please ask me or say hi. Okay, so again, I'm looking for the top of my V, and as you can see, I'm almost having to turn this over to see it because it's wanting to cave in on me. And when I do that, it almost looks like I need to go through over here, and that's not the case. You want to turn it and make sure you're going underneath both. Okay. And I literally, I just do the best I can. You know, like I said, I may not get every single one. That's okay. You're using the same color yarn, and all we're doing is trying to make sure that we don't have any ridges and that we don't have any lines unless you specifically want them. And in that case, go for it. So just working along here. And you see, that's what it looks like. You can already tell it looks seamless. Like it just, that's where it's supposed to be. So, but I will say this much, as far as whether you miss one or not, oh well. But it is important that you go through under the V on both sides. Because if you catch the front or the back loop of either side, it is going to leave a line on the other side. Okay? And hopefully, when we get done with all this, we don't have a line. So let's see. Okay, but I'm still trying to make sure I'm hitting all these V stitches. Okay, just working along here. My hands are a little shaky today. And I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. Okay, so just looking for the top, right, to go right under those V stitches. And this will be a little quicker the more you go at it, and the more you do it. You'll be able to see them better. I haven't joined any of these together yet. This is the first one I'm doing online with you guys. I've made a bunch of them and just haven't joined them. So, no, you do not need to single crochet all around each square for this one because it gives such a clear, because we did all those double crochets on the end of this. Sammy is asking me if we need to do a single crochet, and there are times when you're doing a blanket or you're doing some kind of pattern that requires you to go around with a single crochet because otherwise it's just almost impossible to join. But this one, this granny square, and most granny squares are very easy to join. Okay, so still working along here, going under each thing here. And again, I don't know if you can, trying to show you with the lighting, just showing you again what these V stitches look like. And as we've laid them together, like I said, they do try to turn, but we're looking for, the lighting in here is awful. It's a little cloudy today here, but you see these V stitches. we're wanting to work right under those. Just showing you again, guys. And then we would go to the other one right under there. But you can see as I'm crocheting, it looks like you should come back here and go under these two, but that's not right. Okay. So just make sure that you're doing that. And that can be a little difficult, a little bit time consuming, but it's worth it because they look beautiful when they're joined together properly. Okay. Just now, if you would feel better, for instance, when Sammy was asking me about the single crochets around, if you would feel better at finding those, you can do that. You can go all around here and do a single crochet if you would like to at the for your granny square before you join them, if that would make it easier for you to find. However, if you do that, you need to make sure that when you come to your corners, that you do 2 single crochets in your corner to keep that corner look. Okay, so you need to make sure to do that if you do decide to do that. So moving on, still finding the backs here, trying to. And let's see. Oh my gosh, I think I'm actually on the exact stitch I'm supposed to be on. Guys, this is total luck here. This is not usually happening to me, but I'm actually on the right stitch. So hoorah. Yeah, Sammy. She's talking about how she's doing shades of blue. I'm doing shades of green. So her darkest shade of blue is almost going to be like looking at a black. So you want to make sure that you use some good lighting, or you may want to do a single crochet. But I really think you could do it like this. I really do. If you just had some good lighting, I think you could. Okay, so I'm at this little right here. I'm trying to kind of line it up as I get to the end here, and to make sure I'm actually on the right stitch, and I am. But see, like this right here, I don't know if you've noticed, when we crochet a lot of times when we're going fast and we're doing stuff, I don't know what has happened here. I don't know if I knotted off here, if I got a little sloppy. I really don't know. But this is going to happen to you too. So when this happens, just do the best you can to find the top. And hopefully, you know, it'll be okay. If it's too bad, skip it and go to the next one. You really won't, you won't be able to tell. Okay, so let's just hope that doesn't mess anything up. Okay, and I'm almost to this chain 2. Remember, we want to stop right before that because that's what we did. Remember, consistency is key when it comes to joining. Okay, so I've just stopped right before my chain 2, which is what I did on my other side as well. So let's turn this over and see what we've got. Let's cross our fingers for no lines and no ridges. Oh, look how pretty. It turned out so good. Look at that. Right against each other and flesh. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. It's literally going right up to the edge. I don't know if you can see. I can't really, my camera is stationary. I've got it hooked to my desk here. But if you can see that, that's a really good seam. I think it looks really good. I hope y'all are happy with it. There are some other videos. I am not against helping out a fellow YouTuber. I think the Crochet Crowd does like how to do 5 different kinds of edging. So if you want to try that, please go over there and look. I love that dude. He's great. And I'm trying to think of some other people. That's really the only person I know right now who has several different ways to join. I'm not even sure if this is one of them, the one that I do, where you're just simply going under. It may be, but I know that he does the whip stitch and he does the invisible stitch. If you want to try some of those, you're more than happy to go look and see. This is just what I do for all of my work, and it just works great for me. I've even done those really big peppermint blankets. I've sold quite a few of those over the years, and they are very, very intricate and hard to do. And I join even all of those with this, and they look beautiful. The key is to have the same color, okay? Join these with the same color, unless you're specifically wanting like a white running in between or something. In that case, I would suggest probably doing a ridge, because if you're going to use another color, it's going to show up. And if those stitches are not perfect, then it's going to be funky looking. So if you are wanting to put a different color in between your granny squares to kind of make like maybe white, black, I don't know, something, because you want a border going around, then I would suggest doing a single crochet, because it would be consistent and it would be something that you can see. Okay, Sammy's asking, what about when you have 4 and the chain 2 spots? Will there be holes? I'm not sure. Okay. I'm trying to think about what you're asking. What about when you have 4 and the chain 2 spots? Are you talking about if you were to do single crochets around? I'm not really following you. Let me know what you mean there, and I'll try to answer you. Or just message me, Sammy, and I'll try to get back with you, because I'm about to end this video and go on to our heart borders. So at any rate, once you got done with this, you could do a huge piece of yarn on your darning needle, and then have another piece here, flip it over, and then start doing the same thing going this way. Well, it would, yeah, this way. I prefer to just use a different piece with everyone, because it gets kind of funny using using a really big. Oh, okay. So Sammy's talking about, okay, when we end here, okay, when we're ending at this spot right here, and you're bringing in another one down here, okay? So when you join down here, she's saying, okay, you're going to join here. There's going to be these that are open, okay? So what I do for that, okay, is I go ahead and I put my granny square here, and I still follow the same rule that I'm following. And then if there's any little hole here, I come back later and I get that little hole, if it's even obvious, because by the time that you've done all these squares together, that little tiny hole is not going to be very obvious, but it may bother you. You may want to cover it. And if that be the case, then I would simply just come back and do that little hole. But the key is if you want these straight, wonderful lines, you need to have them going from one spot to the other exactly where you want to start. Now, if you want to start, you don't have to start where I did. If you want to start yours, let's say if you wanted to start it here and go all the way down, and then maybe that would be better for you. You know, you can do whichever way that you feel like you want to do it. But I just think this works best, because once I line these up here, from this to this, okay, there's hardly anything there. So, and at the end, all you would do is, like I've taught you in so many other videos, is you would simply do your 3 as a charm, and you would work in your piece 3 times. Okay, mine just came off, so I'm not going to do that because I know you know how to do it. So now I would just go again, and then I would cut off, and then I would just keep going. Then I would go to my next one, and my next one, and my next one. Then I would come down here, and I would do this row. And then I would flip over that piece, and then I would do this. The main thing you want to remember is that you need to be working on your backs. So just the way I started, you need to do every single one, okay? I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for coming to watch. And like I said, please like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, do all those wonderful things. Make sure that you like and share this video to be entered in future giveaways. And happy crocheting. I'll be back in just a minute to show you how to do the heart crochet border. So don't go away. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.